Hi, my name is Ziv Kochav and I'm from External Innovation in ICL. In this video, what we would like is to explain the needs that we face, and perhaps we can collaborate with you on those needs, and perhaps you can offer us research projects which we'd be happy to support if they fit our strategy. So ICL is a global fertilizer manufacturer and a global chemical company. Our turnover is $5.3 billion, and we're the number one in soluble phosphate fertilizer. We are the number one in Europe in PK fertilizer. We're the third largest potash manufacturer, and our product range ranges from commodity fertilizers to specialty fertilizers, and really anything that goes around crop nutrition. So let me start walking you through the unmet needs. You can find all of them in our website, www.icl-innovation.com, for more details. And let's go over them one by one. So the first one is that we're looking for plant stimulants. We focus on stimulants that do not genetically modify the plant, on stimulants that do not address abiotic or biotic stresses in the plant, but rather they improve the nutrient use efficiency and improve yield. We are, as a chemical company, chemical compounds certainly are in line with what we do, but we're also open to biological solutions, and we're open to some other technologies that may be relevant. So feel free to check with us if the solution that you're thinking about is the one that fits us. The kind of microbes or biologicals that we are more interested in are endophytes, so either endophytic bacteria or endophytic fungi. We are less interested in PGPRs, although you can certainly approach us on this as well. The main reasoning behind this is that endophytes are more protected in the plant environment and are less susceptible to the competition that bacteria and fungi in the soil face. So that's one need. In the link you can see all the specifications there. The second need is on improving nutrient use efficiency. So this could be done by biostimulants, as I said before, but it could be done in other ways. So as you know, the nutrients that are being applied through fertilizers are used in a far from optimal way. So nitrogen is only 50% used, and if you look at potassium, also not the highest percentages. Phosphorus as well. If you look at phosphorus, much of it runs off because it just stays on the upper layer of the soil. So there are many issues with applied nutrients making the way up to the plant, and we are looking for any sort of way that could improve the nutrient use efficiency, the ratio between the applied nutrient and the nutrient taken up by the plant. You're welcome to suggest whatever technology, whatever material you're thinking about in this respect. The third need is to do with nitrogen fixation. So we have a number of projects around this because we're trying to really to bypass or to somehow overcome the very polluting and energy demanding Haber-Bosch process that produces ammonia and later urea, and to find some way to either produce it locally or photocatalytically or electrochemically, or in some other way produce the nitrogen that is available to the plant. Not all nitrogen forms are available to the plant, but ammonia and nitrates are. Some of the issues to do with the nutrient use efficiency, because all of those needs are interconnected. So some of those issues are that nutrients don't make their way to the root zone, and some of them are to do with leaching. Some of them are to do with runoff, as I mentioned about the phosphorus, and some of them are to do with fixation to the soil. You can see a good example with phosphorus that is being fixed to the soil depending on the pH. So in too acidic or too alkaline soils, you'll see more fixation, and then again it's not available to the plant. Right. The other need that we have is to do with controlled release fertilizers. We are one of the leaders in controlled release fertilizers. So those are granules, 2 to 4 millimeters. They're covered in a coating, and they release the nutrient in a gradual way, almost a linear way. And this should and is addressing the need of the plant in a very adequate way. You know, in a very it corresponds to the need very nicely. But the issue is that those coatings they can no longer be non-degradable. So the new regulation that is coming up, it's not yet in effect, but we are preparing for this, calls for biodegradable materials for the coatings. Obviously, we have our own projects that are addressing this, but we would love a collaboration with any of you that could offer a really good solution for a biodegradable coating. The biodegradation usually should not be by some sort of an abrasion, because this would compromise the release of the nutrients. But and so really you should let the nutrients go out, and this could be a matter of months, you know, up to a year depending on the product, and then only later when the salinity drops, because you're talking about inorganic salts really that are the fertilizers. When the salinity drops, the biodegradation should kick in and end in CO2 and water. That's a requirement, 95% of it in the conditions in the soil in 25C over 2 years. So that's what they're talking about now. Yeah, so that's another need that we have there. And I would say, as a general note, we are interested in anything to do with crop nutrition, new fertigation techniques, new foliar fertilizers, new products that are added, soil adjuvants, water retention, anything to do with this. Nothing to do with plant protection, because we're simply not in this business. Nothing to do with genetic modification. We're very much for gene regulation, but as long as it's not hereditary and goes to the next generation. So as long as it's not affecting as it's not a GM. Delivery systems are of special interest to us. We know that there are certain bioactives. They can be stimulants and they can be nutrients, but we also know that some of them don't make their way through all the plant systems, through the cuticle, through the phloem, through the cell wall, all the way to the cytoplasm. And so we are really looking for any sort of delivery system that can penetrate all those barriers and get to the final destination or the target tissue in an effective way. This is very different from mammalian cells. You don't have the cell wall in mammalian cells, and this is a big issue in plants. So if you have something you can offer in terms of delivery systems for both organic molecules and for inorganic molecules, these could be different delivery systems, we are more than open to hear about this. Yeah, so you can approach us. You'll have the details attached to this video, and we welcome your proposals. We promise that we will relate to each of them. Thank you for your attention.